Pavel, what would a Trump presidency mean then for the oil majors?
Well, the one big question would be the Trump policy towards Iran. So let's remember that towards the end of his first term, he almost started a war with Iran by launching an airstrike that killed the top Iranian general, Soleimani. Now, Iran reacted with some restraint to that, and war was averted. But hypothetically, if there were to be, a real military confrontation between the U.S. and Iran, then things like would the Strait of Hormuz get blocked? And that would be a recipe for much higher oil prices. Aside from foreign policy, this is some rhetoric that we hear from Washington all the time. Drill, baby, drill. Okay, what does that mean? The U.S. oil industry is producing at record levels. They're already drilling. It may be that, Trump wants even more drilling activity, but of course that's not up to him or any presidential administration. And we've talked, on your show many times about the discipline of the oil industry, which is true all over the world. That capital discipline is not going away, and politics has little to nothing, to do with that.
Pavel, interesting what Morgan Stanley said about Tesla. We believe investors will begin to pay more attention to Tesla Energy, which we value at $36 a Tesla share, or $130 billion. Should we be treating and approaching and valuing Tesla as an energy player now, given this momentum into data centers and given how data centers and the cloud is such an energy hog?
Well, something like 90% of Tesla's revenue still comes from making cars. Certainly, the EV business is becoming more competitive, more fragmented, and this is particularly true in the world's largest EV market by far, which is China. Let's zoom out for a moment. Almost half of every new car sold in China today is electric. That is an astonishing statistic. And to your original question, why is oil below $80 a barrel? Well, that's one of the reasons why. Because if the world's largest oil importing country gets to the point of half of the new car sales are electric, guess what? That means less oil demand, period. And we've seen in the last 15 years, oil demand peaked in the United States, it peaked in Europe. It's only a matter of time before it peaks in China. And if it peaks in China, after having peaked in the developed economies, that means global oil demand has basically reached the peak.